Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluwatosin Oshifodorin, and today we'll be deep diving into getting started with our AWS account. So we'll continue from the last session. First time on this channel. Do well to go back to our previous videos. Otherwise, if you had watched our previous video, then I'm sure what you're seeing on your screen right now shouldn't be very surprising to you because I believe we should be on the same page. Today, we'll be talking about three things, and if time permits us, we'll go further a little bit. So, it's the IAM users, creating IAM users, and setting billing alarms for your accounts, and also creating a multi-factor authenticator. So one thing as a DevOps engineer or as a cloud engineer or as any engineer that you are that makes you use the cloud platform is you need to be security conscious. So for that, without further ado, let's just get into it. What is so first of all, we're going to start with the IAM user. So permit me, I might be looking here. I mean, my face might not be here, but I'm definitely with you. So let's get started. What is actually IAM users? That's the question. Before we get started into IAM user. So IAM user basically is a digital identity that represents a person or application in your AWS account. So it is a way of telling AWS and authorizing telling AWS that this particular person has this this is the limit at which this particular person can have access to in their account. So think of IAM user as a username and password. So let's say for example, you just want to let's say you have a developer and developer's name, let's say the developer's name for the short of name. I think Jane actually just came to my head. So let's say you have a developer named Jane, and you obviously don't want Jane to access your root account, which is the account we created last week, or whenever you watched this video. In the last session, we created an account, and we can sign into the account with our email and password. I'm going to demonstrate that once again right now. So if you are in your AWS account, normally in the production environment, you'd be given the company's account, for example, and you don't want obviously everyone to have access to the root account, which is the company's account. So back to our case scenario. So if let's say that you have a developer, for example, called Jane, and and you need to and Jane also needs to have access to some AWS infrastructure. So obviously you can't just give Jane the company email and password. No. All you just have to do instead of that, you create an IAM user for Jane. You can name it Jane Dev and set the appropriate permission, assign the permissions to Jane. So when Jane when Jane log into their accounts, when you create Jane user, basically you create we create a signing username for Jane, and then they create their password. So basically it's like having an AWS account inside an AWS account. That's literally what an IAM user is, with restricted permissions. So now Jane can actually access their own AWS accounts, which is under the root account, clean and secure, without the fear of them tampering with any other infrastructures or even the company's infrastructure, so to say. So that is actually what the IAM user literally is. So first you need to be one that as a DevOps engineer or as a cloud engineer, you don't want to use your root accounts for daily tasks. So even you as the engineer, you don't want to for your own day-to-day job, you don't want to work on the root account. You want to create an account for yourself, then do your stuff just for security reasons and not to mess with what you shouldn't mess with. So and also you need to And just like we'll be touching today, you need to also set your multi-factor authentication. So all of these, they are all security based. So let's get into it. Like I said, we are going to I'm going to I'm going to I'm going to log out of here so we can be on the same page and we can sign in. We can sign in to our root account all over again. So if I expect everyone to follow now, so yeah, you can sign in if you can sign out if you want. So let's sign out again. I want to show you where what exactly I am talking about. So if I click on sign in here, and that loads. So we are here. As you can see, what is showing us here, it says IAM user sign in. It's asking for an account ID or alias. So if we had created an IAM user, there is an ID for each root account. So that is to tell AWS that this is the ID of the account I want to sign in under, and then you enter your IAM username, then the password. So, but in this case, because we haven't created one yet, so let's sign in with our root email. So I'm going to click on this, sign in using root user email. And you enter the email that we created last week. I don't know, I mean, all the last session. Sorry, I keep saying last week. So enter the email you created. For me, I'm just going to enter mine. And that is the email I created. And you enter your password as well. And we assign it as a root account, as a root user. So as you can, this is actually telling me to keep my account secure, and it's saying this because I had tried to set it up before, but I didn't tell it because of this session. So it's asking me to do it all over again. But I'm not gonna. It might not ask you because you haven't done it before. So I'm just gonna skip it for now. And obviously that's what we'll be treating. It's one of the things we'll be treating today. So I'm just gonna skip that. Do that later. So why I skip that, then that hem user so that we don't sign in all the time with our email, with our root email, as you can see when it says sign in with your root email. So creating our IAM users here now. Let's just let it load. So I believe we should all be on the same page. That is on this page, obviously. On this page, yeah. So if we are on this page, I'm just going to sorry, my face might be everywhere here. I'm here. So so if I come here, look at the search bar up here. So if I come here and I just click on it and I type IAM. So it says IAM here, and I just click on the IAM here. We are trying to create a user, remember that. So let's say we are creating a user for Jane, who is an administrator in our organization. So Jane obviously needs administrative access, or basically administrative access is just somewhat different from the root access. You somewhat have most of the permissions as a root access, but I mean it's anything that will just get us out of the root account is what we want here. But anyways, that's by the way. So let's try to create a user. So if I click on users, then I click on create user. Remember, I click on users. Users is just here at the left hand corner here below user groups. And I click on create user. So let's say we are creating user for Jane. Jane, I'm just going to say Jane Dev. That's the name of my user, and then I'm going to click on provide user access to AWS console. Yes, obviously because we want them to have access to the console, to the AWS console. So I'm going to check that, and I want to create an IAM user. So I'm going to click on this. So you can choose to auto-generate password, which yes, or you can choose to just give it a custom password. So this password basically is like a temporary password. You can make it a temporary password basically, so that in which the user, that is in our case Jane, can use to sign in later. What I like doing in this case is I just create a random password, or yeah, I create a random password. But for this demo purpose, I'm just going to leave it on auto generated password. So AWS generates a password for us. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You can click on custom password and give it just a random any password you want. So, but for me, I'm just going to click on auto generated password. And then I'm gonna check this. Users must create a new password at next signing. So when I immediately I give the user, that is Jane, their link to sign in, it's gonna ask them for the password, which obviously I'm gonna give to them. This one I'm creating right now, and afterwards it's going to ask them to set up their own password, basically, obviously for privacy reasons. Maybe I'm just going to generate a password for here for Jane here. I'm just going to say yeah, yeah. So if I just say this, mhm. So and that's it. I'm going to click on next, and here this is actually where I was talking about permission. So here, as you can see here, it says add users to group. Add users to an existing group or create a new group. We recommend using groups to manage user permission by job function. So basically, the importance of this group is you obviously have a group of users. Like you've created a group. You might not have users in there yet, yes. Maybe subsequently you can have users. So you have a group, and that group you can assign a permission, which is actually going to be assigned to that group. So subsequent users that you'll be adding in that group will have that top tier, that upstream permissions. So it is basically a way of making your job easier and having things done faster. So in our case, we don't have a group yet. Yes, we can create a group and just have that done. But meanwhile, just note that creating a group, it means that all of the users in the group and all subsequent users you'll be adding, the same permissions is going to apply to them. So you want to be careful with that. You don't want to give the same permissions to people that might not really need it. So you need to be sure you are creating the group and assigning people into that group, necessary people that should have that permission, if you understand what I mean. So and here it says copy permission. Copy all group memberships, attached manage policies and inline policies for an existing user. So if we have a user that we've created before and we are trying to copy the permission of that existing user to our new one that we are trying to create now. So I'm just going to click on this, attach policies directly, because I want us to add it from scratch. So these are permissions policies. These are all permissions, and these are all permissions, and there are diverse of them. As you can see, it's about 1 to 69. So there are so many permissions, as you can see. So I'm going to go back to one, and I'll click on administrator access. So if I click on administrator access for Jane, and then I'll come here and click on next. And afterwards, as you can see, this is our permission summary. So we are giving Jane administrator access and IAM user password. Yeah, obviously we created a password, and we've told Jane to change the password when next they are trying to sign into their account. So I'm just going to click on create user, and that is creating, as you can see, and user created successfully, as you can see. And then you can download it as a CSV file. You can download the credentials. For me, I'm just going to copy this link, or you can copy this link basically. Copy this link and give it to Jane. Copy the link, give it to Jane, and also give Jane the password. Give Jane the link. Give Jane the username and their password. So that is what we are doing right. So now that we have a user, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to sign out of our root account. and have and sign in with Jane's account. So if I just click on here and I say sign out from my root account because I don't want to be on a root account anymore. So let's get our account secured. Now I'm going to click on sign in again. Oh no, sorry. Instead of signing in, sorry, I can either sign in or paste the link with the link which I had copied before. Now I can sign in, but because for the sake of me, I don't know the ID yet of our root account. I mean, I didn't, yeah, I don't know it. So obviously, if you had downloaded the CSV file, you should have all of these credentials. So for me, I don't have it. So what I'm just going to do is the link I copied, I'm just going to paste it on my browser, and I'm just going to paste that to my browser. So and that should pre-populate the account ID that you can see here. Then enter your IAM user. So for me, it's Jane Dev. I don't know what yours is. And for my password, I'm just going to enter my password for Jane Dev, and I'll sign in. As you can see, I didn't click on sign in with root email. As you can see, so as you can see, what it brings out here: password reset. Your account with this ID password has expired or requires a reset. So continue. Please verify your hold and set a new password for Jane Dev. So for me, it says old password. I'm just going to enter my old password. Then I'll set a new password for um, Jane Dev as requested. So, so in the production world, obviously, Jane would be setting their new password. So it's not you doing all of this for them. I hope you understand that. So, and I'm just going to click on confirm password changes. Yeah, I had actually entered the same password for the two for the whole and the new. So confirm password changes, and that's it. Password reset, and it's going to ask me to sign in over again, or is it going to sign me in? Let's see. Okay, yeah. So I'm signing as Jane now. So if you take cognizance of the root account, you'd see that there was a different name up here, but now it is Jane Dev. So it is now Jane Dev using this account, and Jane Dev only has the administrator access that we've assigned to it. If I don't want Jane to have administrator access, if there is any other access that Jane actually needs, maybe in the compute platform or anything, or the AI. So whatever permission it is, you can search for it. As you can see, we have about 1 to 69 pages there. You click on and you assign whatever permission it is to Jane, and that's it. So, and that is it about IAM user. As you can see, there we go. So now let's get into billing alarm, setting and enabling our billing alarm. So the billing alarm basically is just a way of monitoring your estimated charges, your estimated AWS charges. So to monitor, you can use it to monitor your free tier charges, or your Amazon Cloud Watch. So when you enable the monitoring of estimated charges for your AWS accounts, the estimated charges are calculated and sent several times daily. Now, what is actually the importance of this billing alarm? Like I said, so in this in the journey of this cloud engineer or DevOps that we've actually started, we are going to be spinning up a whole lot of infrastructure, and most of which I'll try my best to make sure we are spinning up free tier stuffs. But if peradventure we need a higher degree of the infrastructure, and then that means we might actually be charged for some infrastructures. So we can easily tell AWS, for example, if I can easily tell AWS that once I am beginning to spend and it is already getting to like $5, for example. Once my bills is getting close to $5, please alert me, let me know, send me a notification to my email and just let me know basically. And then once I know, I would take the necessary steps. Then I'll know if I should shut down some instances, if I should delete some instances and whatnot. So it's basically a way of monitoring what is going on in your AWS account as a free tier and even in the production world. So in the production world, you don't want to incur cost to your company. So right, that's what we'll be doing right now. So if I come to first off, we need to enable billing alerts. I'd actually have that done already here on this account, but I'm just going to show us how actually it is. We need to do that on the root account, obviously. So I'm going to sign in them out and sign in the root account. So I'm just going to sign that out and let's get back to our root account. Let's get back to our root account. Yep. So we are here, and I'm just going to click on sign in using root account because I don't want to sign in with this. So sign in with sign in using root email, root user email. Sorry. Then I enter my root email address. This is it for me. Then that's it for me. Afterwards, I enter my password. Okay, so to actually do that, we are here. Let's wait for that to load up. And afterwards, so if I come to the search bar again, so the search bar is always here to search for stuff. It's obviously like a shortcut to your infrastructures. You can, so you just, if I click on this and just do billing preference, I'm just going to type billing preference here. So, like I said, I had done this before, so I'm going to show you what you would be seeing in your account. But because I had done it before, I wouldn't be seeing the same thing as you. I checked already. So you can check them as well from your account so we can be on the same page. And so remember, I typed billing preference on the search bar, then I'm here, then it brought me here. So on the last preference here, you click on edit. So receive AWS free tier alerts. So of course, so I checked on that. I checked on this. So you can do the same. Then you enter the email you want to receive free tier alerts. So this is the email I want. So you enter your email, whatever emails you want, and also receive CloudWatch billing alerts. So I checked this as well. So you can check that and afterwards confirm it. For me, it's saying update because I have done before. So you confirm it from and that's it. So and now we can create our billing alarm. So I'm going to come back here and type alarm. Yeah, I'll click on alarms. Yep. So let's just wait for that to load up. Okay, so we are here. If okay, so we are here. Let's just hold on, and this is it. So I'm just going to click on all alarms. Yes, what is this billing? Okay. Okay, I'll click on all alarms. Okay, so from the Yeah, I'm just going to note this from the AWS documentation. There's actually something that says if you don't see the billing or the total estimated charge metric, enable billing alerts, change your region to US East North Virginia. So mine is in US and United States North Virginia already. So obviously in setting up your billing, setting up your alarm, please do make sure you change your location to United States North Virginia. Otherwise, so that we can be on the same page. Otherwise, you might actually not see some functions. So come to this here where it says United States, click on this arrow beside it and click on North Virginia from the drop down. So that is what you have to do. So on here, I'll just click on create alarm and I'll click on select metrics. Select metric. Um, there should be something like billing somewhere here. Mm, okay, so let's go back one step. What do I do next? Okay, select metric here. I'm expected to see billing somewhere around here, like a billing. Yeah. Okay, billing. Sorry, I didn't see that. Forgive me. So if I click on billing, and um, like I said, I've done it before. I've done this before. So but anyways, I think we are still seeing the same thing. I'm sure of that. So if I click on this total estimated charge, so and I click on this, so this should come up select metric. And I click on select metric. So yeah, this is actually where everything needs to be done. So here you click on the threshold static, threshold type, click on static, use a value as a threshold. So I'm going to click on static on that. So then here you can choose whenever estimated charges is greater than threshold or is greater than equal to threshold, lower or equal to threshold, or lower than threshold. So for me, I'm just going to click on greater than, or yes, I'm just going to click on greater than and just say maybe $5. Yeah, must be a number. Yes, so I'm just going to say $5 to that. Then so on here, the metric name obviously is estimated charges, currency USD, yes, static maximum, then a period of 6 hours. So that's all I have. All I have here. Then I click on next. So here I'm just going to click on yes in Halam. Then here I'll click on create new topic. And I'll just give it CloudWatch alarm new topic, and I could say um, monitor cloud. Yeah, that's my topic, and email endpoints that will receive the notification. So enter an email here. The email we had entered before, that is for free tier alert. Here is actually the for the CloudWatch. So I'm just gonna come here and just enter an email address I want to receive that. So then I'll click on create topic. So that's it for me. Then I'll just click on next. You should receive an email on your already. So, but let's just wait. We'll get there. Name and description. I'll just give this a random name. Test alarm. I'm just gonna give it that test alarm. Yep. Then next on this. So I'm just gonna leave the rest of it. Okay, this is just a preview. So if you check it and make sure what you're doing is check it to me. I'll make sure everything is actually correct. For me, this alarm, I need to change this L to M. So if there's anything you need to change as well, click on that, click on edit button in the tab in the edit button and just change it. Then I'll click on create alarm. So that has been created successfully, test alarm. Now this is going to give me a warning sign because I need to confirm my email address. So if I go to my email and I confirm the email that was sent to me to confirm notifications coming in, then this warning sign should automatically leave afterwards. So I'm just going to do that right now. As you can see, Amazon SNS doesn't send message to an input until subscription is confirmed. So I need to confirm this. SMS means simple notification service. So I'm going to go to my Gmail and confirm subscription. So, and after confirming the subscription, then I come back to my AWS and refresh it. Look at this button here. I'll click on that, and voila, and there we go. So now we've enabled our alarm on AWS. So now, next thing we'll be looking at is setting up our multi-factor authenticator. So, like I said earlier, one thing you need to be very conscious about is security in your AWS, especially your AWS root account. You don't want to mess with that. You want to make sure it's secured, even for your companies. So this is actually a way of preparing you for the task ahead, making sure you have every knowledge needed for the outside world. So I'm just going to click on AWS and go back to our root home, to our home page, and while we set up the multi-factor authenticator. If time permits us today, maybe we could launch our first EC2 instance. Maybe we could launch our first and also do a little Linux basic commands if time permits us today. So fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. Now, here I'm now at the home page. So if I come here, I come here and click on this arrow here, and I click on security credentials. So, and after the security credentials, that should bring us here. Now, multi-factor authentication, that's MFA right here. Now just say assign MFA device. I do have a Google authenticator on my phone, and I'll just click on authenticator hub because I want to use authenticator hub. So you can use an hardware TUTP token or a passkey or security key. So for me, I'm just going to click on this authenticator app and next. Oh, and give it a name. Test MFA for me. Next. So it's gonna install the app if you don't have. So you have to install it. For me, I have it installed already. So I'm just going to click on show QR code, and afterwards go to my QR code and scan this. Then it's going to ask me to do this. Enter the code. I see here. Okay, and the other code. Wait 30 seconds and enter a second entry. So I'm just going to wait for that. So I have a second entry here. There we go. So add MFA, and that's it. And that's it for our MFA. You can register out to 8 MFAs of any combination of the currently supported MFA types with your AWS account, root, and IAM users. So yes, you can do that as well for your IAM users. So with multiple MFA devices, you only need one MFA device to sign into the AWS console or create a session through the AWS CLI with that user. So now here we go with the MFA, and that's it. So if I sign out now of Tosin, of that which is the root user, if I sign out of there and try to sign in again, it's going to ask me for the authenticator code. So let's try to do that. Let's try to do that. Uh, just so now click on sign in using root user email. So if I click on that, then enter my root email again. That's it. Sorry. Yeah. Um, okay, then I enter the password as well. I have it all saved. So as you can see, now it's asking us for an MFA code because we've assigned one. So I'm just going to enter my code. So you can do the same as well. I'm just going to enter my code from here. And that is, and there we go. So now we are signed in to our account. So you can do the same for your roots, for your IAM users as well. So, but and also for root account, I do recommend it mostly for your root account. You want to make your account as secure as possible. So I think that is going to be all for this session. And in the next session, we'll be deep diving into launching our first EC2 instance. We'll be checking availability zones. We'll be checking EC2 instance. What is an EC2 instance? Why do we want to use an EC2 instance? And maybe types of EC2 instance. So we'll be checking on that. We'll be checking on some basic Linux commands as well. So and that is how what's next class is going to be like. So thank for if you had stayed with me till this session, I want to say thank you to you, and please do make sure to like, share, and comment. Subscribe if you haven't. Please subscribe. And if you are new to the channel, please do the same. And thank you very much once again for this session. And until the next session, I'll see you in the next class. Thank you. Bye.